Every NBA team underdog comebacks. How does a team go from getting booed off the court to pulling off the greatest win of their season? Well, some comebacks are so wild, they don't just save a game, they shift legacies, break records, and leave MVPs stunned. From the Cavs dethroning a 73-win super team to the Nuggets rewriting playoff history twice in one postseason, here are some of the greatest underdog comebacks ever witnessed in NBA history. But before we move on, I'd like to ask you for a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Over 98% of you have watched the video without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference for us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Cavaliers versus the Warriors, 2016 Finals. The Warriors were on top of the world. They had just broken the NBA record for most wins in the regular season, 73. Stephen Curry was a unanimous MVP. Draymond was talking, Clay was sniping, and everyone had already crowned them as champions. After Game 4, they led the finals 3-1. For Cleveland, it looked over. But Game 5 changed everything. Draymond Green got suspended after building up too many flagrant points. LeBron James didn't waste opportunity. He dropped 41 points, grabbed 16 boards, and added 7 assists. Kyrie Irving matched him with 41 of his own. That double explosion forced a Game 6, and LeBron did it again. Another 41-point performance, this time in Cleveland. Game 7 was tense from start to finish. Every possession mattered. Then came the chase down block. LeBron timed it perfectly and pinned Andre Iguodala's layup on the glass. A few possessions later, Kyrie stepped back over Curry and hit the biggest three of his career. When the final buzzer went off, it was the first championship in Cavaliers history. They became the only team ever to come back from a 3-1 down in the NBA Finals, and LeBron fulfilled the promise he made to his city when he returned home. Nuggets back-to-back 3-1 comebacks 2020 playoffs. No one gave Denver much of a shot. They were young, they didn't have a so-called super team, and they were going up against some serious firepower. First came the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell was going off for 50-point games like it was nothing. The Nuggets were down 3-1 on the edge of elimination. Then Jamal Murray snapped into another gear. He dropped 42, then 50, then 40 across 3 games. Denver forced Game 7, and Nikola Jokic filled it with a calm, controlled performance. Most teams would have been worn out. The Nuggets had to turn around and face the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and a team built to win it all. Again, Denver fell behind 3-1, and again they stayed calm. Jokic dominated the boards. Murray kept delivering big shots. The Nuggets won Game 6 by double digits. Game 7 wasn't even close. Denver blew them out and sent the Clippers home early. That made them the first team in NBA history to come back from 2 separate 3-1 deficits in the same postseason. It was just smart basketball and a team that didn't panic no matter how bad things got. Clippers vs. Warriors 2019 playoffs Game 2. Golden State had 31-point lead in the third quarter. Steph was hitting shots. KD looked locked in and Karina was already celebrating. The Clippers didn't have any all-stars. They didn't even have a real go-to guy. What they had was Louis Williams. And Louis doesn't care about the odds. He started chipping away at the lead with mid-range pull-ups, tough floaters, and some key drives. Montrezl Harrell powered through defenders in the paint, drawing fouls and getting easy buckets. Patrick Beverley made life annoying for everyone he guarded. The Clippers didn't rush it, they just kept playing. Then Landry Shamet got a clean look from the wing and buried a 3 that gave the Clippers the lead with under 20 seconds left. That shot silenced the entire building. The Clippers won 135-131. It was the biggest comeback in NBA playoff history. No stars, no hype, just toughness, smart basketball, and a team that refused to roll over. Raptors versus Mavericks, 2019 regular season. Raptors were down 30 points late in the third quarter. Luka Doncic had the Mavericks cruising. Toronto looked completely out of rhythm. Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing. Pascal Siakam wasn't on the floor, and it felt like the Raptors were just trying to keep the score respectable. Then Kyrie Lowry took over. He was organizing everything, running the floor, setting up teammates, calling out matchups, and taking charges. He dropped 20 points in the fourth quarter alone. Chris Boucher added blocks and rebounds. Rondé Hollins-Jefferson fought for loose balls, and suddenly Dallas couldn't score. Toronto outscored the Mavs 47-21 in the final period. The lead disappeared in a flash, and the Raptors pulled off a 110-107 win. No Kawhi, no Siakam, just heart, hustle, and veteran point guard who knew how to lead. Warriors versus Thunder, 2016 Western Conference Finals. The Warriors were one loss away from elimination. OKC had a 3-1 series lead, and everything was working in their favor. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook were rolling. Golden State needed something big to stay alive, and they got it. Game 6 turned into Klay Thompson's show. He caught fire in the second half and didn't cool off. Deep threes, quick releases, barely any dribbles, he dropped 41 points and broke the playoff record for the most made threes in a single game with 11. Every shot shifted the energy. Every possession got louder. Stephen Curry added key buckets late, and Draymond Green kept the defense steady. The Warriors clawed their way back and forced Game 7. Then they handled business at home. Golden State won the series and advanced to the finals. That Game 6 performance from Klay didn't just save their season, it became one of the most clutch games in NBA history. Hawks vs. Celtics, 2024 regular season. The Celtics had built a 30-point lead early in the second quarter. Everything was falling. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were in rhythm, and Boston looked locked in. Most teams would have folded at that point. Atlanta didn't. DeJounte Murray led the charge. He started hitting pull-up jumpers, forced turnovers, and controlled the pace. Bogdan Bogdanovic knocked down threes and made smart passes. Slowly, the Hawks chip away at the lead. By the fourth quarter, Boston's offense had gone quiet. The Hawks kept pushing, and the Celtics couldn't stop the momentum shift. Atlanta outscored them 67-41 in the second half and stole the game 120-118. Rockets vs. Clippers, 2015 Western Conference Semifinals Game 6. Game 6 looked over. The Clippers were up by 19 in the second half, already thinking about the next round. James Harden was on the bench. Houston needed something fast, or they were done. Then Josh Smith and Corey Brewer took over. Smith hit 3 straight threes, Brewer attacked the rim, forced fouls, and pushed the tempo. The Rockets turned a quiet third quarter into a full-on run. On defense, Dwight Howard protected the paint, while Trev Reeser kept the pressure on the perimeter. The Clippers lost control of the game. Turnovers piled up, shots stopped falling, and the crowd in Staples Center went quiet. Houston ended the game on a 40-15 run and won 119-107. They forced a Game 7 and won that too. Next, Grizzlies vs. Spurs, 2023 regular season. The Spurs had everything going their way. They built a 29-point lead and looked sharp on both ends of the floor. The Grizzlies were flat, missing shots, and struggled to get any stops. For most of the night, it looked like San Antonio was cruising toward an easy win. Then Memphis found life. Luke Kennard hit back-to-back threes. Santi Aldama started making plays in the paint. Desmond Bane found his rhythm late in the third, and the Grizzlies began to cut into the lead. The bench brought energy, and the Stars followed the lead. By the fourth quarter, the gap had nearly vanished. Memphis forced overtime and didn't slow down. They outscored San Antonio in the extra period and walked off with a 126-120 win. It was the largest comeback win in Grizzlies franchise history. Next off, Thunder vs. Grizzlies, 2025 Playoffs Game 3. The Thunder were in trouble early. Memphis opened the game strong and built a 29-point lead by the second quarter. Everything was looking good for the Grizzlies. Fast breaks, threes, interior scoring. OKC couldn't keep up, at least not yet. Then the second half started, and the Thunder looked different. Gilgeous-Alexander led the way, attacking with more urgency and hitting shots from mid-range and beyond the arc. Chet Holmgren stepped up defensively, blocking shots and protecting the rim. The energy shifted. The lead got smaller every few minutes. The Thunder kept closing the gap and tied the game multiple times in the fourth. With just a few minutes left, they finally moved ahead and held on. The final score was 114 to 108. That win gave OKC a 2-1 series lead and was the largest comeback in playoffs. Cavaliers versus Pacers. 2017 playoffs, Game 6. The Pacers came out swinging. They dropped 74 points in the first half and held a 25-point lead heading into the break. Indian fans were loud, and the Cavs looked like they were getting run off the floor. No Kyrie, no Kevin Love. LeBron James was the only starter left on the court, and he didn't flinch. In the third quarter, he took control of the game. He hit threes, posted up, found shooters, and locked in defensively. Everything flowed through him. He wasn't forcing anything. He was reading the game like a veteran who had seen every situation. By the fourth quarter, the lead was gone. LeBron tied it, then pushed Cleveland ahead. He ended the night with 41 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists, and 0 turnovers. The Cavs won 119 to 114. It was the biggest halftime comeback in NBA playoff history, and LeBron did it by controlling every single possession without making a single mistake. Kings versus Bulls, 2009 regular season. The Bulls were destroying the Kings. Chicago had built a 35-point lead late in the third quarter. The crowd was into it. The Bulls were running the floor, and Sacramento looked like they were done for the night. Then everything changed. Tyreke Evans started pushing the pace. He attacked the rim, scored in transition, and found open teammates. Amari Caspi knocked down shots from outside. Sergio Rodriguez came off the bench and gave the Kings some much-needed rhythm. Slowly, the lead started to shrink. The Bulls went cold. Turnovers piled up, and the Kings kept scoring. Sacramento closed the game on a 58-19 run, walked away with a 102-98 win. And that's it. So now to you, which of these comebacks felt the most unbelievable to you? Comment below as you leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos like this one.